Countdown. This is it. 2 more shows, and I'm excited for what we're getting ready to do. Life is grand. Good morning and welcome to the Wealth Warrior broadcast. As always, it is my pleasure to be with everybody this morning, to be out there. You know, one of the beauties that I enjoy about being on Facebook is the fact that, guess what? We are everywhere. You can touch the entire universe by being on the FB channel, as I like to call it. I want to say great morning, great morning, great morning. Britt Johnson, Robbie Abukar, Cecilia Badalas, Nancy Rosario, Pamela Stone, Chantel Bethea, Al Peters, Nancy Lewis Hill, Sharon Nix, Virginia. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Nicole Dublin. Oh, I tell you, life is truly, truly grand. So it is my pleasure to have you aboard. Arthur Little, welcome and good morning. Wealth Warrior broadcast, we are live. So what am I going to be talking about today? As 2018 is on the down and 2019 is going up, we're almost going to treat that like the bell curve. Okay, so we have 2018 is on the downside, and then you have an upside with the form. So we are in an interesting form stage. Yes, an interesting form stage. Thank you very much. We're in an interesting form stage. And what that demands of us right now is for the next 2 weeks, I want you to start. No, it's not about me. It's about you. I'm going to encourage you. It's better. To start looking at trends. In fact, there is a piece on LinkedIn, and it's talking about the trends for 2019. I'm going to encourage you to start looking at the trends. What are people saying? What's going on? Get familiar with the track or the trajectory that people are speaking about. Pull out what resonates with you, because this is your journey, and it's your financial journey, and it's your wealth journey, and it demands that we be participants. We cannot be placid, we cannot be lucid, we cannot just stand by and expect somebody else to give us all of the information. And contrary to popular belief, YouTube University is not the only destination. Now, I will admit this. There are some really powerful people that are on YouTube. I'm on YouTube. My point is this: figure out those individuals that are speaking in the capacity that they say that they are, that expertise. They are the SME, the subject matter expert. You might check out YouTube, but I'm going to tell you something. Pick up a book. This one in particular, the reason why I'm showing you this, so let me show it to you again. And it happens to be called Jesus CEO Using Ancient Wisdom in Visionary Leadership. And I'm going to be talking about that in a few minutes. But right now, part 1 for today is all about following, watching the trends that are going to be happening in 2019. What are people reading? What are people talking about? What are the 5 sentences or the 5 talking points that every leader or person that feels empowered or considers themselves a leader, what are the talking points for 2019? You're going to networking events, you're going to parties right now. What are people talking about? What are you listening for? That's what today is about. It is about listening for opportunity, listening to hear what people are saying. Are they dropping some nuggets? Can you run with the ball on those nuggets? Now is the time when you want to carry either your phone and you want to be notating what you hear. You hear something that's powerful, trot off to the ladies' room, trot off to the men's room, trot off to a corner and tap it down before you forget it, as something to follow up on. This is the most point, in my mind, the most powerful, poignant time of the year. Why? Because this is the time to write everything out, that your expectations. And when I say that, I'm not talking about from the perspective of we're going to write our New Year's resolutions. No, 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 no. This is you write out your plan. If it hasn't been written out, this is the time to sit back, take some hours for yourself, go into a corner and write out what your history, what your projections are going to look like going into 2019. Now you've got those written out. Then what you do is you turn around and you take that and you start looking at the trends. I met with a couple of people yesterday and I said, you know what you do? You take sheets of paper, you write out thoughts, you lay them on the floor. So the floor is your universe, it's global. You lay things out on the floor and you just stand above your universe and you look at how the puzzle pieces are coming together. I'm going to encourage you to have some paper, to have some scissors, to have a couple of highlighters, to have some pens and write it out. And most people would say, hey, Brent, I can do that on my computer. Yes, you are right. You can do it on your computer. But here's the powerful thing about it. You are actually causing your neurotransmitters, your brain, you are causing the connection between your brain, your physicality, your hand, and there is you send your brain a double message. You're telling your brain twice because in fact, 3 times. You're thinking about it, you are writing it out, and then you are reading it out. And as a result of that, it's inculcated, the power of 3s. It's inculcated into your brain. So you have a plan, a life plan, business plan, and we're talking about using pages. 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. Think through, what are my shortcomings? What makes it challenging for me to just get off the ground? And then look at your strengths, so that you can dismiss those weaknesses, play to your strength. You're able to hire somebody that can resolve the other issues. And here is the point entirely. Look at the trends, reference your plan. Where those trends in your plan intersect, can you adopt those and make that part of your wealth growth? Now, I will say this to you. There are going to be a lot of people that are going to be talking about wealth, getting a wealth, attaining wealth. And that's going to start happening from January to March of 2019. I refer to that as the form stage. And because it's cold, especially in New England, what else do you have to do? So you're going to go and see an event. You're going to be motivated to want to purchase. And you're going to hope that you take off. I am begging and pleading with you that this is the time of year to really review what you want to have happening for the next 24 to 36 months, not just 12 months, 24 to 36. Can you do that? Will you do that for you, your family, and your legacy? Will you make that happen? Because that's what we're talking about. On the Brent S. Harding YouTube channel, there are at least 80 videos. They have been categorized now to help you with that process, to help you to understand so that you know the powerful questions to ask. Ask the people that you are working with so that you know those, so that life is about you creating your own trends. I have been doing a lot of reading and viewing stories about the trends. That's why as we wrap up the Wealth Warrior broadcast in the fashion that we are typically used to seeing and that we've been seeing for more than 36 months, I want to leave you with this piece. And then next week, I have something that's pretty powerful. We're going to be talking about digital currency as we wrap up, because that clearly is not a trend. It has been happening. It is now becoming a trend because more people are involved. And remember this, as the more people get involved, the more you're going to hear it. It is imperative that we become clear and definitive students. Clear and definitive students means we pick up a book. Books are not old-fashioned. And I had a conversation with I was in a group event last night, and we had conversations around picking up a physical book versus a Kindle. And there is nothing wrong with a Kindle or with a reading device. However, what we have found is the level of old school in opening up that book and highlighting and pigeoning it is really something that is pretty powerful. Again, to our brains. If you decide to go up on LinkedIn and look at the 2019 50 trendings, what you're going to find is there is a piece on the brain, and it is powerful. Again, the connector. Let me take a moment and say, great morning. And Pamela Stone, good morning. Oh, you know what? I tell you, I love this woman. Been with me, a ride or die. I'll tell you, when you are connected with Pamela Stone, it is definitely a ride or die. She is with you all the way. And I appreciate her tremendously. And again, Arthur Little, I appreciate the fact that, excuse me, I apologize, Arthur Lyle. Forgive me, please. And I thank you for that forgiveness. So there are several of you that have chimed in on our Facebook page, and I want to thank you for having done that. And come on over to this side and join us. With that being said, I want to dive into the book that I am encouraging us to read. Now, typically when you look at this title, you go, okay, Brent, you telling me you want me to read the Bible? Well, you know, I do that too, but however, why I am focusing in on this book is the woman that has written it. Her name is Lori Beth Jones. She wrote this book actually quite a long period of time ago, 1992. She talks about this particular man, and she says you're going to take his principles and lay them over whatever you are doing in your life. And in particular, on page 13, one of the things that I like that it says, and this is what I want to get across to you, it says he knew his mission statement and he didn't deviate from it. So what in terms of wealth, in terms of watching this broadcast, in terms of leaving the legacy, thinking through the trends, and writing out your plan, when you pull those all together, my question for you is, what is your mission statement? What is your mission statement for you personally? What is your mission statement professionally? And are you sticking with it? Have you gotten tainted by the shiny objects? Have they caused you to veer to the left? Have they caused you to veer to the right? Are they falling in line with where you want to go? Because right now, stop and think about it. In just these past few minutes, I've asked you to pull together a number of things. I've said, ultimately, you're going to be writing your plan. You're going to need to take time to think through. You need to go into a room and sit down or be with yourself for at least a good 4 hours. I've also shared with you to lay the sheets of paper down on the floor, to connect your brain to those sheets of paper, to write out what you're thinking, then to grab what's going on in the trends for 2019. You're writing a plan that's 2019, 2020. You're writing that out. And then I've said, pick up a book, and are you focused in on your mission? Where do you want you to be? Where do you want your family to be? Welcome, Brian Addison Payne. Good morning. Where do we want to be in the scheme of things? And there is nothing like, this is the most perfect time of year to sit back, and guess what? Ain't nobody going to be mad at you for doing it. To sit back, to relax, and to make some depthful thoughts, depthful decisions based on deep thinking. To go off and be with yourself. You know what? There's that term that says, I'm just here. Quiet. I'm not thinking about anything at all. Silence. Did you hear it? Sometimes silence can be deafening. I want to just take one more and listen to and have you hear this. And it says, an ancient adage says, if you want to defeat them, distract them. If you want to defeat them, distract them. So we don't want to get distracted by the shiny objects. We want to stay focused because this is our lives. I can give you information, but we all have to make decisions. And if it's about the journey to wealth, what do you say? What do you say to your children? What do we say to ourselves? I can't do it for you. I remember, I think it's Any Given Sunday movie with Al Pacino. I can't do it for you. I can bring you the tools, but I cannot do it for you. This is your journey. You've got a lot of helpful tools to get you there, but here's the point. We got to use the tools. We can't rely on somebody else to do it for us. We know what's happening out in the universe today, and there are people blaming, well, he did it. No, well, I listened to him. Well, he told me what to do. You know, there was a gentleman I remember years ago. His name was Arthur Fitzhugh. And, you know, he had a very powerful thing. He said, Brent, you are grown. You own 100% of this. You own 100% because you are grown. So I know right now I'm talking to grown folk. And therefore, we have to be in charge. And we have to assume responsibility. Am I right? Okay, I realize you're going, Brent, you know, it's pretty heavy this morning on Saturday morning. Yes, it is, because this is the best time of year to get prepared, to do the closeout and the uptick. Why? Because 2019 and 2020, the trends are speaking to the fact that this is a wrap. This is a wrap. And what does that mean? What that means is you remember the form, the storm, the norm, the perform? Rephrase that. The form, the storm, the perform, the norm. We are in that place. So we are approaching 2019. And what we said was we have a form that's brewing. It brewed in 28. It brewed through in 2018. We are now getting ready to enter the storm. Cash is king. You are going to be able to purchase things for cash at a blink. And we want to be prepared for that. This is the time when you want to pool that cash together, because 2019, 2020 is your time to seize opportunity. So whatever we're doing in 2019, it is preparing us, because 2020 is going to be a poignant period of time. Now, we all know Brent is not a tax consultant, tax preparer, financial planner, lawyer. She's none of those. What she is an entrepreneur that is picking up a book, that is watching, that is reading in preparation. Readers are leaders, and leaders are readers. With that being said, let me share with you some of the good stuff that is going on between now and the end of the year and through 2019. With that being said, next week, for women only. And I know that immediately makes guys go, okay, what's the deal? What's wrong with us? Nothing. Just sometimes you guys need to sit down and chat. We do too. So next week, if you would like to participate in an awesome event that is for women, then I am going to share with you that you want to send me a text, 617-438-7949. Again, 617-438-7949. I am participating and inviting the ladies in to a private small biz buffet event. It is happening next Wednesday. You will need to send me a text message so that I can give you the code to go up on Eventbrite so that you can join this private event. Good morning, Sherry Tucker Brown. I am feeling honored by everybody that's here, but I got to tell you, Sherry and I are going to get together. If we don't at the end of this year, we are at the beginning of next year, and I am thrilled that she is with me. If we're not in person, we're at least together on the broadcast. So with that being said, next week, Wednesday, special private affair, the Small Biz Buffet. It is invite only. Last time I checked, there were only 25 tickets remaining, and it's down. It's probably less than that. If you want to go, it is women talking about the trends, the business, some personal, not too personal, but we're pulling it all together. How can we collaborate and create, right? Remember, how can we do that together going into 2019? You know, if you've got 10 grand and I've got 10 grand, if we work it together, we've got 20. If we don't, and the deal is 20, then we need to work together. Remember this, whenever it comes to money and it comes to that scenario of working together, it must be in writing. We are what's called a 4-point state. What does that mean? 4 points. That means that here's the piece of paper, 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got a very powerful question to ask you. And it goes like this. When you are purchasing property, which document is more powerful? The offer to purchase or the purchase and sales? Which one? Somebody put that in the feed. Which is more powerful? Which is the legally binding document? The offer to purchase or the purchase and sales? Now I will tell you this. I was teaching a class last week, and it was with a group of realtors. What was amazing was the number of realtors that didn't give me the right answer. Some were seasoned, some were new. It is a powerful, powerful element there. Massachusetts is a 4-point state. Somebody put the answer in the feed, will you? Hi, thank you very much for that. Now, I'd like to share a couple of other things with you. And that is that April, please mark your calendar for the last 2 weekends, Friday and Saturday. Brent Networking Launch is going to be occurring on one of those weekends. By December 20th, I will know which one of those dates. So I'm asking you right now, put the both of them on your calendar. We are expanding that event, and it's going to likely be a Friday night into a Saturday morning. It is going to be smoking. I would love to share with you right now that event, for those of you that came, like Al Peters, who joined us, Juanita Grant, who joined us, there were many. We were looking for 50 people, 48 people showed up, and business was actually transacted. So for the entrepreneurs in the house, I want to share with you that the event, that launch event, is going to be focused in. Friday night is going to be everybody, and Saturday is really going to focus in on the entrepreneurs, the small business owners, and the related services. We are actually recording the transactions of business that has resulted from that, and in less than a month, we have seen the uptick of trends. People are sharing, and I'm not talking dollars, I'm talking thousands that actually occurred as a result of being in the room. That is powerful. With that being said, let's go back one more time and let me take us through the portion of trends. Some of the biggest trends that I've been reading about have to do with personal, where we are personally, how we are developing ourselves personally. The second biggest trend I saw was the engagement, the interaction. That is becoming a very powerful word, engagement, social engagement, business engagement, employee engagement. We are being driven back to talking with each other. Have you ever sat on a train and just decided, you know what, rather than take my vehicle, because in Boston it's going to cost me $44 to park it for 2 hours, you've decided I'm going to take the train. What I will show you is the trend that says that if it isn't happening on the screen, it's not happening. People have become so polarized, not because they have decided to be polarized, but they're so engaged in the phone that they don't see things that are happening around them. And so engagement, you are going to find where people actually talk to each other, is a massive trend that you're going to read about. So the question for you is, how are you going to be engaged? Depending on what it is you are doing, whether it's growing professionally, whether it is opening up a business, whatever the case may be, what is your engagement going to be like for 2019? This is all about what is happening in 2019. What is happening in 2020? So I'm going to ask you to focus on those 2 years. Trending. It's trending for us individually to become better at who we are. It's talking about self-awareness. Are we looking in the mirror, but are we cognizant about what's going on behind us? Do we occasionally take a look, but do not become distracted? Again, focus. Focus is on interaction, engagement. Another trend is people are starting to do more collaborations because there is not enough with just one. I submit, I beg, I plead with you, if you are going to do anything of that nature, it is imperative that it be in writing. And I'll tell you, it doesn't matter whether it's family or not, it's in writing. If it's your brother, it's your sister, it's your aunt, it's your uncle, it's in writing. Mom, pop, and probably not. Anybody else? It is in writing. Why? So that it is clear and it is evidence. With that being said, next, we talked about, just briefly, a book that I'm going to encourage everybody to take a look at. It is about wisdom, visionary, and leadership. It talks about the oldest topic on the planet. It is about a man that has transcended 2,500 years, and we're still talking about him. And it is about laying that leadership, laying all of those elements on top of our businesses, our personal, and how we show up. I have some of my coaching clients that are reading this book, and it is definitely, it's bringing clarity. And clarity is going to be king in 2019. Being clear about what you want to do, what you want to say, how you want to show up. Economists. What are economists saying? They're talking about the trends. They are talking about the trends. That's why today was all about what are the trends. Hashtag trends. What are the trends that we are following? What are the trends of money? What is happening with the interest rate? We're hearing the interest rate is going up. What's underneath that that's causing it to go up? See, not what's on the surface, but what's underneath is where we want to be at. Okay, with all of that preach, and I hope I didn't say, you know what would give me great joy is to know that I'm preaching to the choir, that you already hear this. That would be the quintessential, and it would give me phenomenal joy. So it has been my pleasure to be with you this morning. One of the things that I have learned is shorter is better, cut to the chase, give you feed, and then you can give me feedback. We've talked about trends. I implore you, go up on your favorite social media sources, then go up on your favorite news sources. Get clear with the trends. Next, make sure that you pick up the book. It says Jesus CEO Using Ancient Wisdom for Visionary Leadership by Laura Beck Jones. Grab the book. It is an older book. However, it's definitely worthwhile. ABE Books, you can get that at an incredible price. Some of them are used. Make sure you look for the very good, not the good, look for the very good. Next, if you are in the Boston area next week on Wednesday, the 19th, then guess what? You want to reach out to me, 617-438-7949, and just put in there private. I'll know exactly what that is. It's a private event for women only. to move in and to make and shake, to create contacts, to create content, and to collaborate. See that? The 3 C's. You know me, I'm going to create an acronym no matter what. I want to give a shout out and a thank you again to Arthur Lyle, Pamela Stone, Brian Anderson, Payne, Sherry Tucker Brown, and everybody that listed themselves up, that joined us on the Facebook page. I want to share with you that Wealth Warriors, as you've seen it on as you've seen it every Saturday morning, or near every Saturday morning, I'll give you that. I have missed a few, I'm willing to say that, is going to be a wrap. The 29th of December is the last edition of the Wealth Warrior broadcast. I'm going on the road, and so you're going to see me on the road. Pamela, I'm coming to you. Credit card will travel. I am coming to you. I'm going to ask you to do me a humongous favor, if you will. As we wrap up, I'd like to grow this movement about wealth, about living life, about connecting. I'd like to grow this organically on Facebook, on YouTube, Instagram. Would you generously go to my Facebook page, Brent S. Harding Company, and would you like the page and join us? I'd be honored if you would go up on YouTube and subscribe to the Brent S. Harding channel. That would be so appreciated. I would like when you start to see the new content, which will be coming out in January, February, when you see that new content, let me know. Let me know in advance what kind of topics you'd like me to talk about. When I'm traveling, is there someplace in particular you'd like me to bring back and share with all of you? You have been my life for the past 3+ years. And guess what? This is the next phase of our marriage. This is not a divorce. It's the next phase of our marriage, of being together. I am hopeful that I will see you in April. We'll be making the announcements on both the Brent S. Harding channel on Facebook, Brent S. Harding on LinkedIn, Brent S. Harding on Instagram. As a result of my team, I am grateful for all of them, Erica, Monica, and Sabor, because it's because of you that I've had this opportunity to grow, and I want to honor you in saying that. When you go on those channels, you will see they have been a part of the process of helping me. With that being said, I thank you. Next week, we will be talking about digital currency as the trend, where and how you want to invest. And I've got something that's specifically for business owners, entrepreneurs, next week as we wrap up the show. Go out today and be your extraordinary selves. I will see you next week.